Starting tomorrow, high salt warning labels go into effect at chain restaurants in New York City. The health department says that dishes that have excessive sodium levels will have to post a special salt shaker symbol on menu items to alert customers.
All right, joining us now, Dr. Devi Nampiaparampil of the NYC School of Medicine. All right, so we're talking 2,300 milligrams. And the thing about salt, it's in everything and we don't know it. So I think we're going to be surprised when we see the things that have the salt shaker next to it on the menu now, aren't we? I
think that's the thing. I mean, the estimate is that about 10% of the items will have that salt shaker. It'll be a salt shaker in a triangle, just sort of as a warning sign. But I agree. I think most people who are trying to cut down on salt, they may have a hard time even picking out what actually has salt in it. It's in almost all of our foods.
Right.
And the reason it makes a difference is because for people who have, let's say, kidney disease or heart failure, this can cause a real problem for them, because if you have a lot of salt, it's not necessarily the salt that's so bad, it's that you drink a lot of water afterwards, right? So you can get water overloaded. And when that happens, your kidneys have to pump it out. So for people who have kidney disease, they have a hard time. And for those that have heart failure, your heart's already having a hard time pumping that blood or pumping that fluid. So if you're holding on to even more fluid, it's a lot harder for the heart to work.
Well, thank you, doctor, for that scientific explanation as why excessive amounts of sodium isn't good for you.
Sure. Even for folks with high blood pressure, now it doesn't affect everybody who has high blood pressure, but some people are salt sensitive, so it's the same thing, that you hold on to that fluid and your blood pressure will go up. It's like the idea if you're holding on to more fluid, kind of a waterfall versus like a tiny stream.
And on even more simpler level, you sometimes you get headaches from too much sodium, and you don't even know that there's so much sodium in food, and then you're wondering why you have a headache later.
Soup, all these things you think are completely healthy.
Sure. I even think of it as sometimes waking people up at night, like they have a lot of salt and they wake up because they're parched and they need a lot more water. They have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
That's another great reason to sort of lay off the salt a bit. All right, let's talk about this. So we've heard a lot about sugar and everything, but now we're talking about sugar-free might not be so great for us as well. In fact, it can sort of have a lot of the same negative repercussions as things. So it's weird. We know sugar is not good for us, but then I think people, myself included, make this leap. Well, sugar-free must be great for me, and that's not the deal at all, you know?
It's worse, actually, because it's a chemical.
It depends, because some of the sweeteners have their own side effects, but especially when we're talking about teeth, so there was a study that came out that for teeth, we always thought sugar was bad for your teeth, right? And part of it is because you have bacteria in your mouth, we all do, that digest this sugar, so they help us with that, but they produce acid, and that acid breaks down the enamel in our teeth. That's the protective coating. Now, the sugar-free ones actually don't they don't feed those bacteria, but a lot of those substances, whether it's your soda or sport drinks, they actually have other acids in them that just directly break down the enamel, so they have the same effect. So some of the tricky parts here, you might think, okay, if you can avoid the sugary drinks, that would be good, which is probably the best idea, to just go with water. But if you are doing the sugar-free drinks, you don't want to brush your teeth right away afterwards, because if there's acid, you're just sort of scraping it in and kind of helping to break down the teeth, so you might actually want to wait a little bit longer.
That's counterintuitive right there. You think, oh, let me get this off my teeth, but that...
It's the same thing for red wine, too, as well. They say you shouldn't do that.
Well, so exactly. So that has acid in it. If you think about coffee, right, that's very acidic, and that's why people who drink coffee can have also that kind of the stained teeth appearance, because it's breaking down your teeth. So it has to do with the acid. Now, the other thing is sometimes sodas in particular have phosphorus in them. So phosphorus works a little bit differently. Like, it pulls the calcium out of your teeth. It has a reaction with the calcium, and then that causes your teeth to become weaker because it's pulling out the bone. So it's called demineralization.
Right.
Hey, I feel like I just went to science class today.
Everything I love is so bad for me. I hate it, especially coming up Thanksgiving and all that. I just indulged in all of it.
Well, the one good thing about the sugar-free products, sugar-free gum is actually good for you. Not good, I won't go that far, but it's actually not as bad, because I think what people do is they just chew on it for a while, right? So their saliva...
It can help fight a sweet craving, I think,
Yeah, it can help with that, and also the saliva washes away a lot of the acid, so it can perhaps protect your teeth a little bit more.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
I remember being a kid, and my mom would always talk about all the sugar being bad for you, and I'd always think, how come something that tastes so good be so bad for you?
I know.
Because it used to be rare in nature.
Lies the beginning of life.
Everything that tastes good is kind of bad.
Is bad for you.
Dr. Devi, thank you very much. We appreciate it.